Hey, Katie, yeah, we are at the PMAC. It looks like she actually just walked out, or at least some of her staff has. We're still waiting on her to make her first appearance here inside the PMAC. It's already been a busy day for Kim Mulkey, who's going to have this press conference starting a little after 5 o'clock. Obviously, we're expecting somewhere around the 5:10 mark. And look, it's been a busy day for her because it started when she took the school's chartered plane here to Baton Rouge. She met with Athletic Director Scott Woodward once she got off on the tarmac, as well as men's basketball coach Will Wade. She was greeted by, as well as men's baseball coach Paul Maneri. Actually able to meet some of her new season. And look, you can tell the women's basketball program is hungry. She did that at Baylor. She was the first in women's basketball history to ever win. Player, as an assistant, and as a head coach at LSU, winning a national title times in their history, but they've never gotten past. Seems like obviously the clear the LSU women's basketball team get to the next level of Louisiana, and ultimately she even said leaving Baylor, the powerhouse program. Question, why would you walk away from something like that? She considers Louisiana and the fall, and obviously we're hoping to hear in the next half hour more from her, and she makes her way to the podium. Live from Baton Rouge, Andrew Doak, Eyewitness News.
Please welcome home Coach Kim Mulkey. Thank you all so much for joining us today. LSU Athletics. When you look at these and you look at the tremendous legacy here to enhance that tremendous legacy. Sitting in front of me, and we can't wait for them to get started. So just a brief summary of all will be joining us that I know you all. Coach Mulkey gives her remarks. Number of dignitaries that are with us, and we're so of the LSU Board of Supervisors. Of Higher Education, Dr. John Bell Edwards. Introduce to you a gentleman who has direct. Please welcome LSU interim.
Good afternoon and welcome to our new women's basketball. And Kim Hunter-Reed and all the board here. Governor, I never take my mask off, but I do want to thank Coach Vargas for her. Thank you, Coach. Mulkey needs no introduction. Champion as a head coach. A 2 of fame, and she will be in next month. Coach Mulkey is the in Division I history. Court. In her tenure as head and completed their careers who leave our university with the ability of athletics to represent LSU as a passionate international stage. She will and the standard she sets. Coach Mulkey represents the very back to her home state and to accomplished and respected coach. Bright for LSU's women's basketball to use a pandemic-appropriate I'll now turn the microphone over to supervisors. Mary, it's all yours.
Thank you, President Gallagher. So proud to say, welcome home. Today is a homecoming. The first 38 years of her life here in so thrilled that we've gotten you back. And this is definitely a regular season and conference tournament Hall of Fame this month. We're welcomed to LSU. Like we do, that she's been making competing on a Dixie League basis. Remember that. Anything you can do in team to 4 straight team to the very first in 1984. She won a gold medal in women's basketball. In the NCAA championship as a player. And Tom said, last year she to Division I men's or women's basketball. Just welcoming home one of our. We are welcoming home a trailblazer. Wait to see what you have in. Now, in the Board of Supervisors, I'd like to. Mulkey, this is. Now I'd like to introduce the word.
Everyone, this is athletics and governor for the state of Louisiana. I know Michael Jordan will be in next month, but you'll have to settle for me today. O'Hare is my. Just I'm flabbergasted by this success, and I want to thank everyone from family home. Her daughter Mackenzie. Mackenzie, please stand. Husband Clay Fuller. Son Cannon, wherever you are, he was with Uncle checking out the scoreboard. Of course, as I was teasing Coach, big shoes to fill here at LSU, and an LSU great on the baseball team here. Family really means a great deal to us. The bottom of our hearts, and we're excited. Before I go on, I really want to mention 3 people or really Coach Mulkey, that this was her home. Our senior administrator and deputy, Steph. I'm just a titular head here. And then finally, an answers the call to do anything in the Bingle Bells. Thank you so much. That comes with the job of being an athletics director is making difficult decisions. Frankly, this was not one of them. There are great coaches. Every day you get to hire a champion. That's exactly what Kim. Period. Down the road, as she won 4 state championships, where she was also her school's valedictorian. We have watched from down the road as she there, and another as an assistant coach. Watched from down the road as she has won. The next chance will be we all will be watching in the PMAC. And as impressive as her passing, Mulkey is just getting started. Listening to Coach Mulkey is that she wants to win in the classroom. That's who she is. And LSU's elite coaches and student athletes leave championship legacies in all Kim Mulkey is. If you play with a diploma in one hand and there's a championship ring on the other. Is its people and its fans. And our pride. Our tradition and our culture sets us apart. She's the most passionate coach. Pride in her players, her pro. She was home. It's my home. That's where Kim Mulkey is now. Home to Louisiana. On behalf of the honor to welcome home the head coach Kim Mulkey.
Parish people. Well, I'm going to take because I have a lot to say. First of all, home. I would like to LSU. While I don't know all, I want to thank everybody. This doesn't just happen with a phone. People pulling a lot of strings. Women's basketball. Baylor, 21 years of ground up. I should say we built that program. Can you believe the institution I would have left for, and they home. I too would like to talks my language to get me to come to LSU. And this and leaders, they better have people and women. Right? Where are you? Ramp, Steph. You better stay at work to get me here. You showed me the number, the emotional moments. Thank you. Dee Dee Bro. Could sell. Thank you. How are you? You took a cocky little and forever grateful. I'm not sure what other coaches are here, and I don't acknowledge you. Governor John Bell Edwards. Good looking at his daddy Frank was. Nor was he as smart as Charity Hospital in Independence. Grow up, you don't forget where you. And two people who grew up on opposite ends, grew up during integration. He went to the schools in Amite, went to all the schools in Hammond. There, they knew where Independence was. They knew where Ponchatoula was. Because that parish state made us who we were. I appreciate you being here to the state of Louisiana. Your brother Daniel, wife is a judge. Unbelievably to my roots. I would like the Tiger basketball team to stand up, please. I want you to see those right there. Final four. Where on there does it say national champion? To do. Be seated. It doesn't happen. Let me remind you, Rabbit LSU crazy and won't coach us fired tomorrow. Give it time. But I can assure you, I'd like to also my family, which has been in acknowledging it, my mom, Tangipahoa Parish. My daughter, my grandson, Cannon, daughter in that belly that will pop. Avery, will y'all please stand up? Oh. Kramer, is that from St. Louis and the Cardinals baseball? It's good to be back home. Left North Louisiana 21 years ago, and I was first head coaching job, Ruston, Louisiana. 3 Big 12 regular season and tournament. national championships. Player that ever finished in a uniform. I had many opportunities. Leave. Thank you again for bringing. Is a very institution of higher learning and championships. You know, into a state when you're a winner. I know what it means. I didn't just come here to win championships. I'm at an institution that needs some. I came back. Career, I've said it numerous times. Here takes me, Louisiana. Wait to eat some ponchatoula. Wait to have some crawfish. But it's just the God. Boudreaux and Thibodeau joke. It will not happen overnight. You have already put a deposit down. Now I'm going to put you on the spot like a good. Get them up. Why not? You can ticket. I heard that just today. A team. Some what it feels like. That's at LSU. The Tamika Johnsons, the Silver. They Mulkey in the Final Four, right? I have great admiration. Sue Gunter. Can do what Sue Gunter did for Scott King. What a heck. Coach with passion. Learned that from the great state of Louisiana. For my team, I'm always going to fight and defend the state of Louisiana. I can't build this program alone. You can forget that. I cannot build it alone. I have to introduce, and I would like them to stand up as I talk and tell you who they are, my staff, some of them, not all of them, that are going to come here from Baylor with me. Don't pat me on the back. Pat those guys on the back. They do all the work. Pat those guys on the back. They will be beating the bushes to bring recruits to LSU. I'd like to start. Johnny Derrick, he really wants to retire, and I won't let him. Johnny Derrick is he's a Louisiana guy from Dubuque, Louisiana. Jennifer Roberts. Jennifer is a Shreveport, Louisiana girl. Jordan Westbrook. Jordan is from Indianapolis, Indiana, and she's been at Baylor a long, long time. And when I tell you she's a jack of all trades, ask Jordan and she can do it before you think about it. I'd like to introduce Kaylin Rice. Kaylin has an 8-week-old little girl back home, and her 6'8" daddy is taking care. So if they don't look like Mutt and Jeff, she's 5'2" and he's 6'8". Kaylin Rice. Daphne Mitchell. Daphne played her collegiate basketball at Georgia Tech. Daphne, as you can tell, she probably knows a thing or two about post play. Please welcome them. Please thank them for being here. To LSU, to you fans, to everybody that loves LSU, we need your help. Don't wait until we start winning to buy your season tickets. You have to help us get to that level of winning. When the game is close and tight, just one sellout crowd will help us get there. I'm going to hit you up. You think D.D. Bro has worked y'all for 43 years? You ain't seen nothing yet. I am proud and I am honored to be your next women's basketball coach. Thank you for bringing me home. Thank you for trusting in my abilities. And as Coach O says, go Tigers.
All right, now we'll come to the portion of the press conference portion of today's event. Our esteemed members of the media are here this evening, and we'll turn the floor over to them. Media, we have some roving microphones here, so we'd ask that if you have a question to raise your hand, and one of our microphones will come to you. So please wait until you get the microphone to ask Coach Mulkey a question. So we'll go ahead and start with Ron Higgins. Thank you.
Two questions. One is, what did Scott say in his 10-minute conversation to convince you? And second, how many moving trucks are you going to need for your wardrobe?
Our conversation lasted maybe 10, no longer than 15 minutes. All he said was, Kim, it's time to come home. And I asked him a couple of questions that were very, it was just more of a compassion. I asked him questions. I asked him questions about things that I really don't need to share with you, but it was more compassion and care than anything else. I think Scott and I were on the same page in that it wasn't just about basketball. It was about a lot of things that he thought I could help him with, not just at LSU, but in the state of Louisiana. And it touched home. It touched home with me, and it touched my heart.
Hey, Kevin, Scott Rabelais from The Advocate. Obviously, you knew a lot about LSU being from this part of the state, but your years coming to the games when Kramer was playing baseball, did that influence you at all? Did that plant any kind of seed to think that this could be a place where you might like to wind up?
Well, Kramer's influence, Kramer came to LSU because he wanted to play for a national championship. And I didn't need to see the crowds at his game to know what LSU was about. You must remember, I watched Brad Davis catch that ball against Ole Miss. That's a Tangipahoa Parish guy. I watched Burt Jones quarterback. When you're from Louisiana, you just keep up with sports. So I have an amazing memory when it comes to the history of athletics. I could name you Dale Brown's 5 with Eaton Martin, Rudy Macklin, Jordy Hultberg, and the list goes on. You just know sports. I watched my butt get beat by Simone Augustus and Fowles and all those kids, Tamika Johnson. I already knew how special a place it can be. And at those baseball games, never, ever did I think I would be at LSU, ever. But I am, and I'll say this, God works in mysterious ways.
Hey, Kim, Michael Cobble from WBRZ here in Baton Rouge. The roster building that you're going to have to undertake, how will you approach that? Given the transfer portal and the things that are available to you now, what do you feel is your greatest need, and how will you go about tackling that task?
Well, I don't think it's fair to ask me that today because I have not worked with these young ladies. You have 3 of them that I talked to on a Zoom call today. I did not evaluate their talents before I took this job. That wasn't something that was important to me. My job is to develop players. My job is to recruit to LSU. I know the abilities of my coaching staff, and that's not all of them. I know what we can do. I just don't, I don't want you to be misled that you think I can take a team and overnight play for championships. But I can take a team and make them better each day. And then we will, as we work with them, we will be able to identify strengths and weaknesses, what we need, and then head out and go get the best talent we can to represent LSU.
Chesed Boucher with WVLA. Coach, you are a player's coach. What did you tell your girls at Baylor, and also what was that conversation like with your team here now in Baton Rouge?
What did I tell my players? It's what you can imagine. When you invest in a young person's life and you tell them you're leaving, you feel a great sense of remorse, sadness, because they came to an institution because of you and the program that you built. So you can imagine it was many, many tears shed. And all I could tell them was I was going home, that I was going home, and that I loved them, and that I hoped that they could understand and not be angry at me, but it's just a feeling in my gut that it was time to go home. What did I tell the current players? They can probably answer that better than you can. I introduced myself to them, my staff to them, and in return, I wanted them to introduce themselves. And it wasn't in great detail. It wasn't a big rah-rah speech. It was mainly an introduction, and that let's go win some basketball games.
Hey, Coach. Jared Joseph at Fox 44 in Baton Rouge. You've spoken multiple times about having the championship culture here at LSU. What is your first step to building this program towards that?
Well, we can't, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to repeat that over and over. I've got to go empty a closet. I got to go pack a house. I got to empty an office. We've got a lot of work to do there in order to get here. And then after you get settled in here, many of them will be home if they're not in summer school. So then you got to get a schedule going. Where are they going to be during the summer? Can we have individual workouts? Can we have team workouts? And then June 1 gets here, and then you got to hit the road recruiting. Will my staff be filled at that time? So it's a lot of things to do, and we will do it as quickly as we can, but we won't go and do any shortcuts. I won't hire a staff if I'm not comfortable just to fill a spot. I want the right people. And does that help you a little bit?
Hey, Coach. Jacques Doucet, WAFB-TV. LSU hiring somebody of your magnitude, what message do you think it sends to the country, not only about LSU athletics, but the institution and what direction it's heading from this point forward?
Well, I want to say this. It's hard for me to hear when you say a coach of my magnitude. I'm very uncomfortable when I hear that. Thank you, but I don't view myself that way. I honestly view myself as that little girl from Tickfall. I came from humble beginnings. I have been blessed in my life to play with some of the greatest players to ever play this game. I have been coached by legends, Leon Barmore, Pat Summitt, the list goes on. I was never going to be a coach. My degree's in business administration. I was working on my master's degree at Louisiana Tech, had received a postgraduate scholarship from the NCAA for graduating summa cum laude and all that stuff. I was going to be a CEO and fly all around the country. Dr. F.J. Taylor, then the president at Louisiana Tech, had different plans for me. As I was sitting in class, working on my master's, he sent campus police to the classroom. And naturally, you think that it's a bad, tragic situation. And the police said, when your class is over, Dr. Taylor would like to see you on the 16th floor of Wiley Tower. So I trucked up there. Actually, I ran up 16 flights of stairs. And he convinced me to help Leon Barmore, once Sanja Hogue retired, to get into coaching. Now, I have to be honest with you, and these guys are going to feel that way just as I did as a player. I wanted no more Leon Barmore. I was tired of him. I'd already played for him for 4 years. I was moving on. I loved him, though. It was just time to say, The man wouldn't take no for an answer. So he knew more about what I needed to do in life at that age than I did. 36 years later, this is what I've been meant to do in life. I think the statement, if I can say this, how do you get a coach to leave an institution that has had so much success? I think that's what everybody's wondering. And the first thing you're going to wonder is, God, she got a boatload of money. My boat does not float because of money. But let me also tell you, my very first paycheck as a coach, head coach, was for $125,000, and I thought I was the richest kid in the world. All I wanted was resources. I wanted resources that I could sell to young people. I wanted an institution that I could be proud of. I wanted them to leave with a degree in their hand, and I wanted the resources to be able to hire staff to make me look good. And everywhere I've been, those things have happened. Yes, it did take some money to get me away from Baylor, but that wasn't the deciding factor. I can assure you, anybody that knows me, I'll wear the same warm-up for a whole season in practice because I'm too lazy to go spend money and buy something else. So I hope, Scott, that Nike contract that you renew, you can save some money on me. Give it to somebody that likes to wear Nike every day. I'll wear the same old stuff every day. Does that help answer your question a little bit? Go Tigers.
Hey, Kim, Andrew Doak to your back left.
I hear you.
Hey, how you doing? CBS in New Orleans. Could you dive a little bit deeper into your relationship with Dee Bro and why that brought you here to LSU? And was that a big factor in you wanting to return home?
Well, Dee Bro, I actually recognized her from afar through the years. And I asked Dee this today. Dee, who was your coach at Southeastern in Hammond, which you all know that's where I'm from? And she told me. I said, yeah, that's who I'm talking about. So you knew who Dee Bro was. I watched her gymnastics teams on TV. I watched the crowds and how people loved her and loved the program. Did not really know Dee personally. But my God, in the last week, I feel like I've known her my whole life. Dee Bro talks my language. She talks my language. And I will certainly call on her and Paul Maneri and everybody else that comes across in my path at LSU for help. You say, help? Oh, yeah, I need help. I need help. I need help with fans. I need help with administrators. It takes everybody helping and pulling for each other. I'm one of these that Ed Orgeron may have to throw me off the field because I might go out there and run a tight end play across the middle when he's throwing to the receivers too much. I might go out there and tell Paul Maneri he's leaving that guy on the mound too long. But the thing they know, I'm a coach's coach too. I will defend a coach in a heartbeat. So don't ever come around me talking bad about a coach because you're barking up the wrong tree.
Kim, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate over here on your, hey. Just the timing of all this. When did you and LSU start talking to each other, and then when did you make the decision?
Timing in everybody's life. The timing in your life is so important. If it doesn't feel right at that time in your life, you don't do it. If it feels right, you do it. And that's another part of why I'm here. It just felt right. The timing in my life, it felt right. Specifically to answer your question, an introduction phone call was made, let me think, last week, early in the week. An offer was made the latter part or the middle of the week, and then I mulled over it and contemplated over it until yesterday afternoon. And I thank Scott, Stephanie, Dee. I know they wanted an answer immediately. Guys, you can't give an answer like that immediately. And I wanted to cover all my bases at Baylor. I wanted to visit with my family. I wanted to visit with my team, lastly. And the decision was announced yesterday as right after I told my team at Baylor. I think the women's basketball team here also was told just about the same time.
Hi, Kim. Brody Miller with The Athletic. I mean, we've obviously talked so much about why you're coming here, but I mean, just how difficult was it to wrestle with leaving Baylor after everything you built there?
It was very difficult. My eyes are swollen from many a tear. My eyes are red. I have had so many sleepless nights. I can't tell you how many hours sleep I've probably had in the last 5 days, not much. Because when your heart is invested in something so intensely and so passionately, it's hard to let go. But yet when your heart also says it's time to move on and accept your next challenge, and it's at home, it just kept weighing on me. It kept weighing on me. Something felt right here, and it just was icing on the cake that it was LSU. I would not have left Baylor for any other school except LSU. I didn't. Certainly I had to talk to my staff. The hardest person for me to convince to take this job was Kramer. Y'all believe that, right? It took about 10 seconds. So I waited to call him last. After the offer was made, I made sure he was the last one I called.
Kim, this isn't a question as much as I just hate to miss the opportunity. A couple of rows behind Johnny, they brought you a treat they were trying to show you earlier.
They brought me a treat that they're trying to show me earlier. Oh, my strawberries! John Bell can identify with this. I think I've attended every festival along 51 there in Tangipahoa Parish. I'd always go to Ponchatoula for the Strawberry Festival. Then I'd go to Independence for the Little Italy Festival. Then I'd go to Amite for the Oyster Festival. So I've hit every place on that 51. Ironically, I didn't come to Baton Rouge much when I grew up. But Lord, I have spent more money and time in Baton Rouge when Kramer was here. So those of you who I've paid a lot of money to eat, keep your doors open. I love to eat.
Well, follow up on that, Coach. What are you eating first when you leave here?
What'd you say?
Where are you eating first when you leave here?
Well, I don't know. It depends on where they take me. But I can tell you this, and I told Scott this. One of the things I miss the most is food from Louisiana. So I have these visions of on Monday, man, I'm going to get a muffalata. On Tuesday, I'm going to go get a po' boy. On Wednesday, I'm going to go get some crawfish. Do you understand? People don't think like that unless they grow up here. So to answer your question, probably someone will get me something and hand it to me in a bag, and I'll get on the plane heading back, and I'll eat whatever it is because it will be so good. Oh, they don't want me to forget about Hi-Ho Barbecue in Hammond now. You got it, Hi-Ho Barbecue, dressed with sauce. We good? As Coach Ed Orgeron would say, go Tigers.
One more time, Coach Kim Mulkey. Thank you all so much for joining us here this evening. We can't wait for women's basketball season to start. As Coach said, get your ticket deposits down now. LSUTix.net is where you need to go. We'll see you soon. Go Tigers!
I got you, Ian. Can you hear me? Cool, thank you. Hey, what's up, man? I'm on the other line because of the IFB. I can't hear what you're saying right now, man. Your connection's bad. Or mine is, one of the two. What's up? Yes. No, she's talking about winning national championships, nothing about the Strawberries. I have no idea. It was like halfway through at some point. So go to the very end, and there's a question that Jock has about the magnitude of the hire, given the fact that she left the program that was so successful, and run that by her. She gets emotional. She starts talking about people think that you would leave a program because you're going to get a boatload of money, but that doesn't matter. You got one of the championships here. That's near the end. From the end, she starts like crying. Hey, I want to go try to grab a couple people, like, if we can. There's people we're at. Kim Mulkey just wrapped up 5-minute press conference that is LSU's new women's basketball. How comfortable she feels. All right, 90 seconds.